My name is Elham Qahtani. I am from the University of Jeddah. Today I will be discussing our work, which focuses on the impact of risk-appeal approaches in users sharing confidential information. This work is a collaboration with Dr. Peter Story and Dr. Mohamed Shehab. We know that emails can be sent securely using end-to-end encryption protocols like PGP, but many users struggle to use these tools because of key management issues. It's not surprising that only 5% of people use email encryption tools. Prior work showed that usability issues aren't the only reasons users do not adopt encryption. For example, users do not use encrypted emails because they feel they have nothing to hide or because the wrong mental models. Another study found that users use standard emails to share sensitive documents, and they are mainly concerned about data leaks from recipients' devices rather than during transit or from the sender's account. Although TLS and other protocols encrypt emails in transit, emails are still stored in plain text on servers and users' devices without encryption. So a solution to increasing the adoption rate is to design effective messaging campaigns that could change people's behavior regarding security and privacy tools. Prior work found that video communication facilitates risk comprehensions because they are easily accessible to audience and provide more educational experience compared to other interventions. Therefore, we focused on video-based interventions in our work and designed video-based messages based on protection motivation theory to increase the adoption of end-to-end encrypted emails. The protection motivation theory is used to evaluate users' intentions and behaviors toward performing protective actions. It has been used in different security contexts, such as enabling screen locks and making secure payments. And the findings showed an increase in security-related behavior. We designed video messages based on PMT elements, including threat and coping appraisals. Overall, the messages educate users about the threats of sharing confidential information via standard email and how they can share sensitive information using end-to-end encrypted email. In our study, we seek to answer two research questions. Before evaluating the study intervention, we want to understand what is the purpose of users sending sensitive information via standard emails. Our second research question: can video-based messaging motivate users to use encrypted email to share sensitive information? When we designed our study intervention, we tried to increase the effectiveness of our messaging approach by combining PMT with anticipated regret and action plan. In our video message, we combined anticipated regret with PMT, which helps users consider the regret they might face if they fail to secure their sensitive information as a baseline for the treatment. Additionally, we included action plan to the same PMT and anticipated regret-based messaging to increase the effectiveness of our second video message. So if users goal to avoid unauthorized access when they share sensitive information via encrypted email, they need to form action plan using if-then scenario. In our study, we have three groups. The first treatment group watched a video that highlighted the threat and coping appraisals with anticipated regret approach. The second treatment group watched a video that included the same PMT and regret-based messaging with additional if-then planning scenario. Overall, the video messages discussed the major drawbacks of traditional email, described the importance of using encrypted email, and included a demo of how to add for-true extension to Google Chrome. The video also explained why users might regret not encrypting important emails. Our second video message also helped users form action plan to use for true. For third group, the control group didn't watch any videos. We conducted online interviews with 121 participants and a follow-up survey after a week with the same participants. All participants were first asked to fill out a screening survey to check their eligibility. We checked if our participants use Gmail accounts frequently, have sent emails containing confidential information in the past, are at least 18 years old, and haven't used encrypted email, called for true. Participants who completed the main study received a $10 Amazon gift card, and those who filled out a follow-up survey received a $5 Amazon gift card. For our study interventions, we used video messages to encourage participants to use end-to-end encrypted email with ForTrue. As shown in this figure, ForTrue is an end-to-end encryption platform that encrypts email messages and attachments. We first reviewed existing free secure email systems, and then we selected ForTrue in our study, even though other secure email interfaces are available, for following reasons. ForTrue is integrated with users' existing Gmail accounts, whereas other tools require users to log into separate websites to interact with their secured messages. Also, ForTrue uses automatic key management and never access unencrypted or decrypt user content. Also, ForTrue has a better usability score than other secure email tools. Additionally, ForTrue is widely utilized by different universities and companies. Our study includes main study and follow-up study. In the main study, all groups were first asked a set of questions about digital methods they use to share sensitive information and the reasons for using standard emails. They were also asked how they perceive the security and privacy of Gmail accounts. Participants were randomly assigned to either control or one of the treatment groups. In the control group, they didn't watch any video. In the treatment groups, they were asked to watch a video and evaluate the video. Then all groups were asked to fill out the survey to rate the PMT elements during the interview. And also they were asked if they would experience any regret if they share sensitive information in standard email. Also, they were asked to formulate their plans. After that, all groups were asked to answer a set of demographic questions. Lastly, we gave participants a hypothetical scenario to rate the information sensitivity in employee information form. In the follow-up, after 1 week, we emailed participants asking them to email this form based on the scenario we discussed in the last interview. Participants received automated email asking them to fill out the survey once they sent email with or without ForTrue. They were also asked other questions related to their decision. The majority of our participants were recruited from the university, flyers, and social media websites. We found 92 participants were male, whereas 29 participants were female. 52 of our participants had full-time employment. Most of our participants have experience working or studying computer-related fields. The majority of our participants had completed college or associate degree, and 58 of participants were between the ages of 20 to 29, and 33 participants were between the ages of 30 to 39. To answer our first research question, we found most of our participants preferred standard email for sharing confidential information. Participants believed that email by default encrypts its content, preventing unauthorized access, and they have a strong password and two-factor authentication that are difficult to compromise. Furthermore, we found most participants trusted the security and privacy of their Gmail accounts. To answer the second research question and evaluate the effect of our messaging approaches, participants were given a hypothetical scenario to review artificial employee personal information during the interview session to check whether participants used encrypted email in the follow-up study. Participants sent email, including the form, to human resource email address for a review process according to the scenario we discussed in the interview session. We found that both video messages increase the adoption rate of Virtue when participants share the employee information form via email as compared to the control group. As shown in this table, both video messages made participants more likely to utilize the encrypted email than those in the control group. We didn't find significant differences between the treatment groups, even though our results suggest that inclusion of if-then scenario in the second treatment group had a small effect on increasing the participants' use of Virtue compared to the PMT and anticipated regret message that was given to the first treatment group. We also wanted to evaluate how our video messages can affect participants' perceptions of sensitive data, security concerns about their email, and self-efficacy in using Virtue. As shown in this figure, more participants in the treatment groups were worried about their email security and compared to the control group. Also, as shown in this figure, most participants in the treatment groups didn't feel confident about the security of their regular email without enabling Virtue compared to the control group. Participants were asked to rate the likelihood of cybercriminals attempting to access their email account. Anyone read the content of their email except the entity who received their email, or accidentally email sensitive information to a wrong person. We found most of our participants in all groups were aware of these security email threats. Treatment groups here strongly agreed that they can easily enable Virtue by themselves compared to the control group, since both messages included a demonstration of how to add Virtue extension to Google Chrome and activate end-to-end encryption features of encrypted email. When we looked at users' assessments of the effectiveness of enabling Virtue based on the perceived effort or time required to enable it, we found most of our participants in the treatment groups disagreed that using Virtue in their emails would be time-consuming. As we stated earlier, both video messages included anticipated regret, and we wanted to evaluate how users perceive the regret they might face if they failed to secure their email. We found only participants who expressed regret if they emailed any sensitive information without using Virtue were those who watched both video messages during the main study and didn't use encrypted email after the follow-up study. Participants were asked whether they thought, whether these plans or they were formulated by them during the interview session helped them to remember to use Virtue. We found participants in the second treatment group confirmed these plans they were formulated before helped them to remember to use encrypted email, even though they didn't use Virtue when sharing their employee information form for different reasons. For example, they used different devices without Virtue installed. To conclude, we found both messaging approaches increase the adoption rate of encrypted email compared to the control group. Also, our results suggest that inclusion of if-then scenario in the second video message had a small effect on increasing the participants' use of Virtue compared to the first video message, PMT and anticipated regret. Our findings show that PMT video messaging paired with anticipated regret and action plan can increase the adoption of protective technologies.